think Minecraft's enchantment system really only works for one type of player, and that's the player who knows how villagers work. And even then, I don't think it 100% works. Like, okay, the title of this video operates on an assumption that you, like me, don't like Minecraft's current enchanting system. If you do love it, cool, I'm happy for you, genuinely. But for me, it doesn't work for a few key reasons. Reason number one, XP sucks to get, except when it doesn't. I think one of the best changes they made to the game in quote unquote recent memory is when they changed level 30 enchantments from taking all 30 levels to just 3. Early game XP farming sucks. There's no way around it, and either you find a spawner and grind out levels for hours, or you build one of those new armadillo powered infestation machines that fully trivializes it. That issue is a separate video though. Number 2, Anvil cost. Why do I have to look up the best order to put enchantments on for my boots to not take 70 levels? This is a real image on the Minecraft wiki. And number 3, villagers are busted. So, full confession here, this is my biggest issue and the issue that I'm mainly looking to fix here, and kind of the crux of this whole video. There's no reason I should be able to get mending for 10 emeralds within 2 real life days of playing the game. It's the kind of thing that fully unbalances and trivializes so much of the early game. These are my main problems with the enchanting system, but as we go on, a couple others will come up. I'll talk about those when they do. But let's talk solutions. When creating a solution, I have 3 main tenets that I want to follow. 1, keeping rare enchantments rare. 2, making enchanting renewable for both technical players and servers. And 3, keeping it intuitive. Well, as intuitive as Minecraft really is. One of the things I want to prioritize for enchantments with my changes is options. For players who want to use villagers, they mostly can. For players who want to explore, they mostly can. And for players who want to use the enchantment table, they mostly can. The best option, though, is a healthy balance between these 3 options, creating an enchantment system that feels like it's weaved into the game and not just added on top. I also want to note that what I'm proposing today isn't a 100% balanced or completely tested fix. It's more of an idea that I had to start more of a discussion on enchanting and what the game should look like. Cool? Cool. So how do we let players who want to use villagers keep using villagers? The villager trade rebalance is an experiment first released for Minecraft 1.20.2 that actually addresses a lot of my issues with enchanting, though not all of them. Basically, instead of librarian villagers being able to have any enchantment in the game, they are now limited by what biome villager they are. For example, if you're looking for a protection book, that's limited to plains villagers and only the master librarian after you've maxed out their experience. The real reason this works, though, is because of jungle and swamp librarians, which have unbreaking and mending respectively. Now, when I bring this up, you probably have one of 2 thoughts. One, but doesn't that keep the mending issue in the game? Isn't it still really easy to get? Or the other thought you have is, but there aren't jungle or swamp villages. And both of these are kind of correct. There are no jungle or swamp villages, which means if you want to trade for unbreaking or mending, you need to set up a villager farm in these biomes, move the villagers there, and then trade there. This immediately makes them harder to get, but not impossible for the technical players who really want to get this early. Overall, I'm a big fan of the trade rebalance, and while I'll get to the world generation changes it brings in the exploring section, I do want to tweak some of the trades. First of all, I want to move efficiency and sharpness both up a level. Both of these go to level 5, and so making you trade for level 4 instead of level 3 books will make it less tedious to get the maxed out gear. It also keeps all of the easily findable books in line. You can combine them with themselves once to get the max level. I would also say make Unbreaking into Unbreaking 3. If you're going through the effort of getting a jungle villager, it can be Unbreaking 3. No changes to the armor, because I like the changes and because frankly that's not my main worry in this video. Now, the thing is, I don't want every enchantment available through villagers, personally. However, if you add some of the crossbow, fishing rod, mace, trident, and spear enchantments to different villagers, I think that would be fine with me and make sense. For all intents and purposes, scrap everything you know about enchanted books and loot tables. I'm pretty much starting from scratch. My goal when it comes to exploration and finding enchanted books are for them to be good. The actual weight of finding them would probably have to be adjusted, but you should always want to take these books. There's enough junk in most of these loot tables that I think could offset. For the dungeon, the list is kind of boring, but has a couple of purposes. These enchantments should be about fighting, and it should show how high the levels can go. So, Sharpness 4 or 5, Smite 4 or 5, Bane of Arthropods 4 or 5, Power 4 or 5, Protection 4 or 5, Thorns 3, Looting 3, Fire Aspect 2, Unbreaking 3. I know this makes dungeons stronger than they currently are, but currently I feel like they're very lame to find, and so this might help. However, you could also argue that the main appeal of the dungeons is the spawner and not the loot, and so maybe this is all optional. Mineshaft chests. Like how dungeon chests focused on fighting, I want to focus the mineshaft chests on mining. So efficiency 5, silk touch, fortune 3, unbreaking 3, and then iron pickaxes with any combination of them. Desert pyramid. Blast protection 4, unbreaking 3, Iron armor with blast protection 3 or 4 with a chance of unbreaking. Jungle Temple. Projectile protection. Unbreaking 3. Iron armor with projectile protection 3 or 4 and a chance of unbreaking 3. Both of these are more niche things, but the blast protection in the one that has TNT and the projectile protection in the one that has arrows can kind of lead players to show the use cases of different armor. So there's 3 different types of ocean loot, and each one of them have some crossover but mostly unique. For shipwrecks, lure 3, respiration 3, riptide, and impaling, and then fishing rods, the same as they currently are. Ocean ruins, loyalty, impaling, luck of the sea 3, and depth strider 3. Fishing rods also kept the same. Buried treasure. Buried treasure should have aqua affinity or channeling. Igloos. Currently, you can't find any enchanted books in igloos, so I want to add a chance for Frostwalker. This also will add a chance for iron boots with Frostwalker or diamond boots with Frostwalker. Also, this would only be in that secret basement. Woodland Mansion. I want to put pillager enchantments here. Quick charge, multi-shot, piercing, also crossbows enchanted with any combination of these and unbreaking 3. Pillager Outpost. Quick charge, multi-shot, piercing, and crossbows again. Keeping these 2 the same for me is the better option, but if you wanted, you could put multi-shot in one and piercing in the other. Ruined Portals. I think a low chance of fire protection books, as well as fire protection on gear, is kind of cool. Fortresses. I think if you want to put fire protection anywhere, this is the best place to put it. Bastions. Once again, I'm not sure about putting soul speed in the chests, because they currently aren't there as far as I can tell. But it stays in the piglin trades no matter what. Trial chambers. This is where the loot kind of gets more complicated. So, when you open a trial chamber, there are 3 possible book rolls. The first book can be efficiency, feather falling, silk touch, or density. The second book can be fire aspect, fortune, thorns, or breach. And the third book can be looting, knockback, protection, power, or lunge. This is the only place I put lunge in because, frankly, I forgot about it until right now. And now we get into where a lot of the good stuff should spawn. Ominous Trial Chambers. This will also have 3 book rolls. The first one is just Windburst. If you roll this book, you get Windburst. Book 2 has Infinity, Punch, Multi-Shot, Channeling, or Curse of Binding, and Book 3 would either be Mending or Unbreaking 3. I think this makes the Ominous Trial Chamber rewarding through enchantments, but not immediately broken. Because keep in mind that all 3 of these books aren't guaranteed. They're a roll, and then when it comes to one enchantment, it's a roll within a roll. Ancient Cities. I want to add 2 book rolls here. The first one remains completely unchanged, with Swift Sneak, obviously. The second one, however, would be Mending, Unbreaking 3, and Fortune 3. I think all 3 of these are good rewards for the level of danger you're in. I also want to say that the enchanted iron leggings you can already find are basically unchanged but cannot have mending, while the enchanted diamond leggings are completely unchanged but they can have mending. Strongholds. I have fully changed stronghold chests. They can now include protection books, fire protection books, projectile protection books, blast protection books, sharpness books, and have high chances to include Unbreaking 3 and a low chance to include mending on those books. So you might have any combination of protection 4, Unbreaking 3, or sharpness and mending. Stronghold storerooms. Once again, protection, fire protection, projectile protection, blast protection, but this time with smite, and also that high chance to include Unbreaking 3 and a low chance to include mending. Library. The library, I kind of want to get fun with it, so we have like Efficiency 5 Silk Touch books, Efficiency 5 Fortune books, Unbreaking 3 Mending books, Frostwalker books, and Curse of Vanishing. I think this will make the Stronghold loot feel more impactful, and also, as you get closer to the end, you get these better and better books. End Cities. I want to add a roll for Mending books, Frostwalker books, and Curse of Binding books. I think you want to keep these low, but possible to find. On top of that, I want to leave the Diamond Enchanted gear pretty much unchanged, with up to level 30 enchantments with Mending and Curses mixed and mingled in. I do want to change, though, the Iron Enchanted gear to be high enchantability, but not have Mending, because frankly, that's annoying. Why did they add that? All in all, I think a lot of these loot table exploration changes keep the enchanted books spread out across the world and also kind of have thematically relevant locations. It's not a perfect system. Obviously, I haven't been developing this for months and months with playtesting or anything. But letting players know what enchantments are available by having them find them and stumble across them in the world, I think is better than just rolling an enchantment table a million times and hoping you get what you want. Speaking of, part 3, the enchanting table. I think I want to leave the enchantment table largely unchanged. We'll get to anvils in a second, but there's one thing I want to add when it comes to the enchanting table, and that's a new room in End Cities with a new block, the Purpur Bookshelf. While I am here, add Purpur chests. They act the exact same way as regular chests, but they mean that the end only has wood for ladders. I don't really have a good sub for ladders, so it just make them stairs now, but I just don't want there to be wood in the end. This is something that I'm weird about, and my partner thinks that I'm weird about it. The purple bookshelf spawns just like this, in an observatory-like room at the top of the end city. Inside of the purple bookshelf can spawn 1 to 3 books of any type, and they're always the same. It's 3 Protection 4 books, 3 Silk Touch books, etc. What the purple bookshelf does is channel enchantment into the enchanting table and increase the probability of rolling that enchantment by 2.5% per book, up to 25% with 10 books. For treasure enchantments or curses, that is to say, Swift Sneak, Soul Speed, Mending, Frostwalker, Curse of Binding, or Curse of Vanishing, the chance to roll the book goes from 0% to 1% to each book, up to 10%. But this doesn't just mean rolling it on a book, it means rolling it on an item. So if you put Diamond Pants in, there'd be a 10% chance that on top of whatever level 30 enchantment you were rolling, you would also get Mending or Swift Sneak. This would also only apply to level 30 enchantments, and in this case, it would take all 30 levels. This is on top of only exists for treasure enchantments, and the rest just increase the chance of that enchantment showing up in the enchanting table. This makes books infinitely renewable and not difficult to get for technical players late game, while still needing late game resources and a good XP farm to make infinite Swift Sneak or infinite Mending books. I'll admit this is the part that I'm the least confident in, but if nothing else, the idea of it intrigues me and will hopefully inspire somebody to come up with something better. The last big change I want to make is to anvils. Right now, the formula for prior work penalty, that is to say how quickly the XP costs go up, is 2n plus 1. Wow, that guy's wrong. That's just straight up the wrong formula. Luckily for you, I, Jack from the editing bay, with better mic quality, am here to correct whatever he was trying to tell you that's just completely wrong. The current formula is actually 2 to the power of the number of times the anvil has been used, minus 1, making it exponentially higher and inevitably becoming too expensive incredibly fast. My proposed change is to make the formula 1.75 to the power of the number of times the anvil has been used, minus 1. I created a spreadsheet to show what I'm thinking here, and as you can see, the rates go up for one level, but then are much lower for the rest. Overall, though, this is a patch, and realistically, both anvils and XP need an overhaul for any amount of lasting change. Anyway, this guy's going to do an outro now, and I have to open up After Effects because I keep putting off doing the trade rebalancing part of the video, so I gotta go back and do that now. Bye-bye. This is just my idea, and frankly, it's like a version 1.3 of my idea. Like, it's slowly getting iterated on, but I haven't spent months planning this out, as I said. I've been thinking about it a bunch, but I'm sure there are oversights. I'm interested to hear what you guys think in the comments. Alright, this like last minute of the video is going to be kind of more of a state of the channel thing, so if you aren't interested in that, you may leave. Thank you for watching. So I didn't upload at all in 2025, and that can be explained in a few sentences. 1, I got monetized. 2, I got anxious about uploading videos now that I was monetized. 3, all my perfectionism set in, and none of my scripts were good enough. 4, no videos got made. 5, I am no longer monetized. I want to get back to making essays. I really do. I enjoy it, but between my day job and the lingering sense that the longer I go without uploading, the better the inevitable comeback video has to be, it gets really tough and annoying mentally. But I'm still working on it, so thanks for those of you who stuck around and watched this, even though it's different than what I usually make. In other news, my friend Eric and I started a movie podcast called Back at the Box Office, where we're currently running a show called Doomsday Clock, where each week we are counting down the weeks until Doomsday by rewatching the entire MCU. So pop over there if you want to listen to us dive way too deep into parts of the movies that don't really matter that much. It's a fun project to make, and it involves more trips to AO3 than you would assume. Anyway, that's my update, and as always, thank you for watching.